Well, this is the setup that we're using here at the Ravenshead Ru3a in our village hall. Village hall, we are using a powered mixer piggyback to our main mixer, which is this ZI-10FX, as you can see here. That's because we haven't got the ability to use amplified speakers, so we don't have powered speakers in the hall, and we're using unpowered ones through the alto mixing desk we already have. As you can see here, I'm connected that via a USB cable on this particular ZI-10FX. It is a USB connector that goes directly out to the Mac. On the Mac there you can see a screenshot of the actual village hall from the stage, and that is coming through from an iPhone on a tripod on the stage itself, and it is connected via Wi-Fi using the Ru3a software. So how do we get about sorting this out on Zoom? Well, if you go here to the this section here, which is the start video or stop video, there's a little down arrow, and on the little down arrow you've got a series of different options. Currently that's set to the Ru3a webcam, which is the one with the iPhone on the stage. Behind me, or in front of me, I have an iPad Pro set up with a vision using the camera there to show that from the side of the actual stage. And to switch to that, all I need to do is go to the one that I'm using for living that, and that's Epoch Cam. So I'm switching between two different webcam software providers. As you can see there, that is a side view from that of the stage, and you'll see that we've got a back projection unit there, a back projection screen just set up temporarily, and behind that is a high power projector set to work from rear projection. It's connected to this laptop here, or this Mac, using a very long HDMI cable which goes all the way up to the stage. Clearly one of the issues with this is it's going to be a big room. We're expecting over 100 people, and so we do need to, on the actual day, and this is just the rehearsal, on the actual day we do need to tidy up. You'll see that all the cables are loose and going across the floor. On the day, these will have to be taped down using gaffer tape so that there is no possible trip hazard. Just looking around here, obviously what we've got is a handheld microphone. This one is set up to straight through the speakers, as you can probably hear, and that comes in to line 1 here on the mixer. Line 1 effectively allows me to adjust various things like the bass or the treble, and also the line volume. You'll notice that I've got the actual setting on the slider set to 0, which is called parity. And the other one here is actually the output from the Mac, from the output earphone output into the actual mixer. And what that allows us to do when I run things from the Zoom meeting, I could, for example, and I'll attempt to do that now, is if I go to a screen share, I have a PowerPoint which is set up and not quite ready, and I'm clicking these two, and if you can see them, and these two bottom boxes, which is share sound and optimize for video clip. And so I can then do a screen share, and what you will see is the screen share and my controls. Now I'm going to maximize that, but we're on screen share, and I'm going to take it down and find, yes, this one here. So I'm going to go full screen on the presentation here. And this is a presentation by Fool's Gold, who recently did a meeting for us. online, and I'm going to show you how the sound works to go from this. This is broadcasting live into people's living rooms from within the hall here, and we're live on Zoom. But if I actually do play on that and we go to the next screen, you'll hear the sound come up. As you can see, I'll fade out the music from the actual video. This is live streaming out to Zoom on a recording call. And as you can see, this is on presenter view here on the Mac. But on screen it shows up as a full screen. That's one of the things that you need to make sure you get right on your settings when you're setting up the HDMI connection. The other thing which is sometimes happens is when you're looking at the audio source, and I'll cancel this particular PowerPoint and I'll come out of it so that we can be back here. So I'll stop sharing it. We're back to live. You can see here, this is the Village Hall stage. And if I go to switch this to the other one, which was Irium webcam, the other bit of software, I happen to know that that's the one which is the iPad just in front of me. That's looking across, sorry, that's the iPhone on the stage looking into the hall. Now, in terms of where do you go, the little down arrow at the right is useful. At the moment, the microphone is coming through here, which is the microphone is set to the ZI, which is the mixer. So that will go out, that will come into the recording from the mixer, from anything on the microphones that we have. If you look further down, you can select a speaker. The output is actually coming through the headphone jack socket. The headphone jack is this one here with the little silver thing, a standard one you plug in from the side. And that then puts the speaker output from anything on the Mac when it's running through Zoom or not, and therefore that will go out through into the mixer via the cable into this particular channel here, and then anything I play there will actually go out onto the mixer. I've turned down that when I was just winding it down, but you will see that that's where that is controlled. So anything from the LAC goes through that particular line. I also have the ability, if I can just bear with it a minute, I have the ability to plug in an extra couple of microphones. We're only just using this one handheld, but that does allow us to use both a separate lavalier, which is a lapel mic, and also an additional handheld or an additional headset mic. I can plug in here this particular line here. I've got two of these stereo channels which uses this jack plug, and that allows me to, in fact, if you can see here, I've got an iPad, and the iPad has got music on it. Let's see where we go, and I can choose some bit of music, maybe not to your taste, but let's see what we can do, and something will start to come out once I've selected the volume, hopefully. No, well, because it's not plugged in. So now you can see we've got music from this line. A little bit of Ed Sheeran here. That's probably not your generation stuff, but that's now playing in the room from the music. Turn Ed Sheeran down. But that gives you a little bit of an overview of our setup. If I walk you round where we are, what we've got here is the actual stage. This is a back projection screen, perfectly okay if you use a front projection screen. The iPad is set up on my desk behind me, so that gives us a view of the room. That's our little setup there with all the bags. And certainly this is the view that you see when we're using this particular little iPhone on a tripod. The tripod was less than £15, and that can be obviously preset, and using the software it is possible to zoom in and out from the actual controller on the MacBook or laptop. This is our back projection screen, and this is the Acer projector that we're using to do this. So that gives you a bit of an idea of the setup here on the Ravenshead Village Hall. We have our own independent setup using sound, using projector and broadcasting to Zoom, and also people on Zoom can actually broadcast into the room through this particular setup. In fact, we had to send our Vice Chair Terry Moore out into the toilet to be able to do that, and you might find this little clip a little bit amusing. Thank you.